Welcome to Punk Rock Dads. I'm Richard.
I'm Matt.
And
Dave Dalton.
today we have Dave Dalton, musician, record owner, and punk rock dad. Welcome, Dave. How are you?
Thank you. Really good. Very, very well. And I thank you for having me, guys.
No problem.
Hey.
So, question we ask all our guys that come on straight up is, how many kids do you have? How old are they? And what do they think of your profession?
Okay, I have two older sons. My first marriage, that was in like 1974. And I got two older sons. One's a firefighter in Boston, and one's a teacher at UCLA. Because I'm 60, going to be 67. Then I met Max's mom. And I have a boy named Max. I love him dearly. He's 13. It wasn't a mistake, but it was one of those things, And I love him dearly. He's a musician, plays drums.
Right.
He's in a band called the Vanishing Subs, more like the Jam and the Clash. And my older sons always ask me in a funny way, "Hey, Dad, when are you gonna retire?" Yeah, I retired a regular job. I run a record label, but as far as music, no, I'll never retire.
Never.
But they support me really.
That's
well.
great.
Really well. And little Max, he's 13. He loves it. When we had all these shows going before the pandemic, like he's met some really good bands. I mean, he thought the Addicts was like Toontown, a circus. He loved Monkey. Met him. He met, of course, the members of the Dead Kennedys. He finally got to meet Paul Waller of the Jam.
Cool.
He was excited, but no, they love it. They love it.
That's good. And a fireman, you must be proud of that.
Oh my God! When he was a young teen, like he was like 18, 19, he was getting into the wrong elements of a gang, and I said, that's not going to happen on my watch,
Right.
Some way or another, I sent him back to Boston. My sister took him in, and brother-in-law, and he straightened up right away. He met an old man, a retired fireman in that neighborhood. It took several years to be a fireman because you have to go through these grueling tests and da-da-da. And he thanks me all the time when I talk to him. He's on a tugboat in the harbor, and he loves it.
Yeah, that's cool.
So I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, good work.
Yeah.
How long have you been playing and working with bands before you had kids, Dave?
Okay, well, before I had kids, I did like rock bands and you learn those songs like Stepping Stone, Louie, some Monkey songs, a Small Faces song. And I started playing in about 1967. I picked up a guitar. I was in my early teens, I could have picked up a guitar before that, but we couldn't afford one. I got my first guitar in 67. I got turned on to music. I came home from 1964 when the Beatles were on Ed Sullivan. I came home from I was in a little thing called Cub Scouts or whatever you want to call them, Boy Scouts of America. Yeah. I came in the house and everybody's sitting on the couch, this, that, my sisters, and I came in and asked, "What's going on here?" And they said, "Well, the Beatles." So I sit in front of the telly, and all of a sudden, these guys came on. They were going crazy. They were singing. I got goosebumps, like crazy. I almost started crying. I got goosebumps. I went in my room, took all my uniform off, threw it in the garbage, and that was it. And I professionally started playing. Not really professionally, but like a novice in 67. I became, how do you call it, in 69, I started being more professional, getting better gear, learning stuff, that kind of thing.
Nice.
I seen a lot of cool bands that influenced me back in those early 60 days. I got to see the Jeff Beck group. I don't know if you guys know these guys. The Jeff Beck group with Rod Stewart and Ronnie Wood.
Right.
And I got to see the band The Cream, and I got to see Jimi Hendrix one time, and as a kid.
Wow.
The Yardbirds and stuff.
Cool.
But good stuff, man,
Yeah. So tell us a bit about your label, Die Laughing Records. Where did that come about, and how did it start?
Okay, Die Laughing Records, when I started the Screaming Bloody Marys at the end of '88, early '89, of those days, I had bands before that. I was in other punk bands before that, but I got serious on this band that I put together. You know, back in those days, you had to start your label up to put your first 7-inch with your band as you progress. That's what all the bands did back then. You know, like Epitaph was a Bad Religion. They put Epitaph together because none of the big majors weren't going to sign us, man.
Out of necessity for yourself.
Yeah, exactly. So when I started that, we just started doing 7-inch singles and stuff. And then finally I started doing little compilation records. I was right about 89, 90 compilation records and CDs and what have you for help other bands out. So as time went on, one of our 7-inch records, Die Laughing Records, got in the hands of a guy named John. And he had a label called Sympathy for the Record Industry. And that's a very famous label, 80s into the 90s. I mean, they launched Hole, White Stripes, Rocky Erickson, Johnny Thunders, New York Dolls. We were on it.
Yeah.
So he gave me some influence on that. So as time went on, it was going good. But when the Marys imploded in '90, we were signed to Dr. Dream and Mercury Records, but we imploded. There was a lot of substance abuse and stuff like that. When that stopped, I stopped the label. I just got tired, Richard. You know, just got tired.
Yeah.
And I stayed. I was already I was already divorced and all that stuff now. But so after that, I started playing around. I was on other labels like Hostage Records. I did some stuff for BYO and so forth. And then now we're going to move forward. 2015, Dick Manitoba, the Dictators, and you know who the Dictators are. Mm-hmm. They asked Dick, always liked the Marys, Screaming Bloody Marys. He got a hold of me through my booking agent, Covert, and said, hey, you want to open up? I'm making a comeback. Yeah, I don't got a band. He goes, well, get a band, but I want the Marys. So I got all the original members except for the singer, because he didn't want to do no more. He didn't want to do nothing.
Right.
So when I got Angelique, a girl singer, a real good person, then I said, well, I'm going to start my label up again. That was months after that show happened. Got a back catalog, Rich. I had 7-inch singles, all kinds of stuff. So I put a little Facebook thing on. So actually, it officially relaunched right about 2015. And I had a lot of back catalog. And in about several months later, a good friend of mine, Rob Trissler, my COO now, had Orange Peel Records, and he got tired of that and it bellied up and whatever. So we both took a chance on this, and we just started building a back catalog. We took a whole year until we found our first artist, and then we got a distributor called Cobra Side Distributing and Sony Red. And we just started signing little bands, you know, to help them out and stuff. And now I'm very honored to have this. 3 years ago, Jillian Elizabeth, the Go 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 girl, she's our A&R to a lot of the bands, and she does an amazing job. She don't fuck around. Can I swear? she don't fuck around. She gets to it. I trust her with my life, just like Rob.
Yeah, nice.
So we're just a 3-man team.
Yeah.
Until about a year ago, we merged. A label in Australia, or a conglomerate called Golden Robot Records. Have you guys heard of those guys?
I did.
I have through you. Yeah, I was looking at their roster, and there's a lot of bands that I know of from bands local to my area growing up, and Asteroid B612 and the Mark of Cain, you know.
Yeah. There's some pretty good bands on there. I know he's got some of the bigger rock bands, but there's a couple of bands I like. There's a band called Moot, M-O-O-T, Moot. Those guys are good. He's got a lot of bands, but I don't know them all. But I listen to quite a bit.
Yeah.
And we have a radio podcast, and he'll send over like recordings from them, MP3s and stuff. We cross promote, you know.
Yeah, cool.
the funniest thing, they came looking for us because I wasn't out to find something big. I was just like, let's just have fun, man.
Yeah.
Our first big major signing, guys, was East Bay Ray from the Dead Kennedys.
Right.
And I've known Ray for 45 years. He's like one of my best friends and one of my mentors. And so we signed him. We signed the Vibrators. Good guys. I did a lot of stuff. I used to book those guys. And whatever you see on the roster, the 90% I booked. I actually signed. And a lot of them are I didn't know. I had a girl come up to me one time and goes, you have more women fronted or more women in your label? I didn't know that. I didn't know,
No. Doesn't matter.
But I
It's
do
just
support,
whatever's good.
I didn't know that. And I really like that, guys. I got to tell you guys something, too. The punk rock dad, I'm going to be honest, you guys saved my life in a sense.
Wow.
No, this is no bullshit, man. I mean, I first went in there and I was digging it, but then too many politics and a little bit of racism came in. I bailed, man. I got out of there. So I'm not into this, man.
Yeah.
And then I gave it another shot and I said, okay, I like this. I'm just not going to get into anybody's heavy politics, I did meet some new guys there, Richard. There was a guy going to some problems with his wife, taking his kids away, and abandoning his kids, and this and that. He goes, I'm gonna go back to drinking. I had a long night, late my time. It was early his daytime, and we talked for almost 3 hours.
Wow.
And we became good friends because of the punk rock dad.
That's awesome to hear. That's why I started it.
Man.
That's all about making connections.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Richard, we don't have that. I mean, we here in the States, we do have some things like that, but people take it too serious. If you just say one wrong thing or an opinion, you get attacked, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
With you guys, if I say something, hey, I don't like this politics, we discuss it. We don't call each other names and fuck off and you're a dick,
Yeah. We're all adults. We're all adults. We can all coexist with differing opinions.
And that's what makes the fucking world go around, man.
Right on.
But that's where we're at. Die Laughing's here. Down the road next year, and it's already on our website. We're doing a sister label called Chicanery Chick Records, and it's set up for fronted women bands, and we already got a signing. The Dogs from New Jersey or New York is with us now, and they've opened up for everybody from Kiss to AC/DC and stuff. And the girl bass player, and I'm bad with names, man. I got so many bands. 1966, she started the band. She got a lot of hell for it. 66 as a woman playing bass.
Yeah.
But this is where I'm at. I'm very, very content.
Yeah. Well, I've been listening to the Venomous Pinks from your label, and oh man, they rock. And what a great sound! Their snare drum hit, just bang, bang, bang. Oh, just gets me going.
That's Cassie, because Cassandra, the drummer, used to be in the band Union 13.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, Union 13. They're on Epitaph. They're on our label still, but she wanted, she was going back, and I can't really speak for her, but she was going back and forth, But there was a challenge because she wanted to keep playing, and Union 13 spread all over the United States. But that was a good choice for the Venomous Pinks. Yeah, I turned it down. I think I turned it down once on signing because, I got to sometimes say no before I say yes and look at the demographics and stuff.
Yeah.
But that was one of the best moves I made. Because Fat Records wanted them.
All right.
I like that. Mike's a good guy. I see him once in a while, but fuck off. Hey, but the label, Golden Robot, Mark, the CEO there, we became good friends. His son, Jagger's got a good band called The Kids.
Right.
And they have that real good snide, tight, fucking tight dwarfs meet the No Effects, really tight.
Cool.
And and I'm working with them on some stuff, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, everything's going good, man.
Look forward to hearing that. I think
yeah.
you took care of a big chunk of questions there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
I noticed that too.
I talk a lot, I guess. I get
That's
into
good.
it.
It's not a problem.
All right. So,
But I don't know. We're putting out some projects next year. Hopefully they come through. We're putting out a live Dead Kennedys album, and that's not going to be with Jello because that's a whole different ballgame. It's with the singer Skip, good guy, and Skip was the lead singer for Winona Riders. They were on Lookout Records at one time, and we're going to do that sometime late next year. You know, we got some bigger projects coming into, you know. So yeah, feeling pretty good, I think.
okay.
You kind of touched on it a little bit, talking about the Facebook group, Dave, and even a little bit with your band there, but balancing personalities can be tough even in a perfect situation. What's been a big challenge for you in dealing with different people across different kinds of music and singles artists as opposed to bands? And what have been some of the easier parts of it too?
Well, the single, like, I'm always getting people giving me emails or even calling me up. I never question people where they got my number. I don't go, hey, where'd you get my number? I don't know. The single artist, it's kind of hard to work with them. If I'm answering this right, I always get single artists like guys that are in hip hop or country music. I like a lot of that stuff, even like some of the heavy grindcore and stuff. I don't know how to market it, and it's hard for me to say I can't do it, you know, without getting yelled at.
That makes sense.
You know, I like working with bands, but I'm not a social butterfly, Matthew. But if I hear a band on the horizon, I'll go look at them. You know, it's like buying a nice lager beer. You know, if I go there, what turns me off, Matthew, is when the band's playing, and after they play a song, they go, yeah, I know we suck. Even though they don't, but when they say that, it's a crash and burn for me, man. You know.
I get that. It's like a
you know what I mean?
Or a crutch.
It's a crash and burn for me because if I sign you, you're representing me, man.
Yeah.
You know. And I hope I answered that right.
You did, and I mean, that's certainly something I've never thought of before. On the single artist side, where you do have to market them, right? You have to be confident that you can go out and get people interested or keep people interested.
Exactly.
And inversely, if you're going to pay somebody to record on your label, they don't be walking around telling people they suck.
Yeah, I don't want that because that's a fucking kiss of death, man. I mean, if you have differences on stage, play it off. After you leave the club or out of the venue, talk your shit at the studio. Yeah. If it's a train wreck, but I think it looks cool, laugh it up. Just laugh it up, and then you don't come off stage all angry and shit, you know, or bitch about you made $15 that night. Don't do that.
Like, it's keeping that fourth wall up. If you had a bad show, you can know you had a bad show. No one know.
Yeah. I've had plenty of bad shows, you know, back in the day, you know. But one thing about it, the guys I work with, everybody's rock steady. We're all mature. I don't know. Even when we were younger, we wouldn't look at each other and grimace at each other like you got the wrong note. We just like smile, laugh it up. You know, that's what we do.
90% of the time, the audience will never know you've made a bum note, right?
Right, Richard. Yeah. The Screaming Bloody Marys, we were touring with Soundgarden in the 90s, and we toured in like two weeks. And I remember big crowd. It was like about 4,000, 5,000 people, and our set list got changed. We got confused. I don't know what happened. It was written out wrong. We all played a different song, and it was all. But thank God you have a good drummer, because you always say you're always good as the drummer. You gotta be as good as that drummer, you know.
Absolutely.
The drummer's shitty, you're shitty. When he heard all that, he just looked at us and did a flam, boom, and he brought us in. Yeah, it was bad. But we didn't fucking yell at each other. We just started laughing.
Just count back in and start again.
Do it again, man. I mean, you know. But hopefully, one of these days, I'll hopefully bring the Marys to Australia because we've been invited quite a few times over there.
Yeah, cool. So a big part of record sales is touring and promotion. So 2020 has obviously been tough for that. How has your approach changed, or how have you had to adapt to the current situation?
What we discovered, I went to a seminar recently about that, and the new thing is the new norm for right now is online live shows. You have your studio, you want to do the best you can with masks and sound, and you play with just a few guests. But as far as going to a club and stuff, that it's really fucked up the music scene.
Yeah.
I mean, all the big bands like the Dead Kennedys, Bad Religion, these big bands, Social Distortion, they make money. That's their living.
Yeah.
Right. And a lot of them have to consolidate to survive.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I encourage all my bands on the label, do live streams. Use our Die Laughing live stream center, and we'll zoom it out there, you know.
Yeah.
And always put I'll tell some of the bands, send us your PayPal. We'll make a little bucket. We have a format that people can donate a couple of bucks just for that hour of them playing.
Yeah.
You know, just to help them out. But you know, Richard, this is what it's going to be. The new norm. It's going to be that for a while. A lot of bands aren't going to be playing probably until like October next year, man.
Yeah.
You know, and it's. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So, no, I was going to say I watched the NoFX concert last weekend, and you know I paid $20 for it. A lot of people got pissed off because, you know, a few days before they announced that it wasn't actually live. They pre-recorded it. But you know what? It was great. I loved it. I sat down.
So what?
It was 6 a.m. Sunday morning here. I had to watch it, you know, and it was fucking great. It was the closest thing, you know, to being at a gig I've had all year. So
exactly.
I'll take it.
I mean, like the Rolling Stones, you know, they're doing like shows in their different living rooms, but they piece it together. It's where they play live in their living room. Like Charlie Watts has his drum here, and Keith's like a billion miles away playing. I'll watch that.
Yeah.
You know, it's no different watching the Clash documentary. You know?
That's right.
You know, they're not going to do it live, but it's something just to get the mind off and get that taste of music and give you about maybe an hour. Like, yes, you know. Because it's doomy over here in the States, man. It really is. It's depressing. Yeah. Too much racial violence. I'm turning the tide a little bit here. So when I go out and wear my mask and go get my food, my meds, and come back home, I'll watch a documentary on vinyl or I'll watch a movie. It's still entertainment. Stimulates the human body. If you don't have that, man, you're going to be fucked.
Yeah.
That's my soul. Right? I mean, gotta have it, man.
Yeah. Touched on vinyl there. With the popularity of streaming and download services, have you noticed a change in physical sales of records? I assume a lot of the stuff on your label, they're vinyl guys, right?
Yeah, we have vinyl. First of all, when we get a band, like let's say for instance, Fang, the band Fang, good friends of mine, and they're really good. They all know when they come into this, you got to put up digital, and they have to hit a mark. Then they get their vinyl, they get 12-inch, 7-inch, whatever, and those guys sell. I have no problems pressing for those guys. Some bands need a little help, but I tell all the up-and-coming bands, the sophomore bands, the beginning bands, like, you got to hit a 10,000 mark to get vinyl.
Right.
Because started pressing vinyl for everybody, and nobody's touring, I have a bunch of vinyl in the corner. I take a wash. But my whole thing for next year is every band should get vinyl, 7-inch, 12-inch, all depends.
Cool.
You know, I love vinyl, man.
Yeah.
Fuck, I love it. You know, but it's expensive, Richard.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely. Yeah.
You know, it's expensive, and you know, like my band, the Screaming Bloody Marys, and I'm in like several bands throughout my life. I was in a band called Cell Block 5, Screaming Bloody Marys, and the Unfortunate Bastard. And Global, what you call Golden Robot, bought the whole catalog. You know, I'm one of their artists now.
Yeah.
And he just told me straight out, I'm going to pick vinyl for this, vinyl for that. And he's pretty straight up man of his word, you know. But I always tell him, don't go get thousands of it. Just get a certain little bit, you know. But I love vinyl. I'll take vinyl over any day, any fucking day. I don't even like cassettes. I love cassettes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know. I love vinyl.
With as much as streaming, with how much streaming has changed record sales and music in general, do you think that the newer pay model with streaming services and online sales is better or worse, or even the same as the older model where it was all hard copy albums?
Yeah, I think the online streaming is, I gotta be honest, it is good. When you put an online, let's say you put a song on there, XYZ, you put a song up there, the cover, you want that cover to pop. And then people see that, if they've never seen the band or heard it, they go, fucking cover pops, man. Then they want to investigate that song. I think online is really good. The digital thing, people say, it's digital. Not only are you making some money, but it wakes up a new audience. Yeah. And then when they hit their mark of a goal of 7,000, 10,000 hits, they're going to get their vinyl. You know, and it's almost like the same product, but it's almost like 2 in 1 year. You got an online thing, people are all digging it. Meanwhile, we're setting up the vinyl and like in the next couple of months, and then they have all this going on. I think online is good. That's my opinion. It's not maybe for all bands, but for more of the bands that we have, I think it's pretty good. You know.
Case in point about the artwork is the Venomous Pinks. Soma Snake Oil on the front cover really grabbed me, I tell you.
Snake Oil's great, man. Yeah. You know, it's like I was explaining. See that cover caught your eye.
Yeah.
See, and that's what I always tell all the bands. We had a band, I won't say the name, brought this one thing over. This is a face with almost black background. I go, what is this? This is our cover. I go, no. You got to kind of add some depth, put a little bit of color to splash, or it's going to end up in a 99-cent thing. But the Venomous Pinks are very creative, and those girls have their own little like dome, you know. You know, Gabby, the bass player, she owns T-shirt. She prints T-shirts for our label and stuff.
Yeah.
But the Venomous Pinks, that one pops. Sam's last 12-inch, that popped a lot. We use different artists. We use a guy named Sticky Graphics. We call him Sticky Tips. And I don't know if you've seen on my Facebook, my birthday party's coming up, and that poster and stuff, all those bands and stuff. I don't know if you've seen it. But we're always looking for new artists, Richard.
Yeah, cool.
You know, but the Venomous Pinks, their singles, 7-inch bubblegum pink or whatever you want to call it. It's coming out real soon.
Yeah.
Same with Michael DeBar. She'll have a 7-inch coming out, or maybe a 10-inch. I'm not really sure because it's got extra songs. And Michael DeBar, I don't know if you know who he is. He's a movie actor. But he was in a band called Silverhead, which was on Swan Song Records, the Led Zeppelin label. And he was in a band called Detective, Checkered Past with Steve Jones, and so forth. And he's a movie actor. He's played with Clint Eastwood. He's part of that MacGyver series on TV and stuff.
Oh,
yeah. He's a real funny guy, man. good guy. So that's coming out. And the Carvels, new stuff's coming out. Yard of Blondes. So we have a lot of good stuff coming out. I'm looking forward to that Dead Kennedys live one. That's the thing.
That sounds exciting.
Yeah, it's gonna be a double album. There's almost like 27 songs.
Wow.
A lot of bantering. Yeah. But yeah.
So I heard that you once played with Johnny Thunders. It must have been wild.
Yeah, he was. What the thing about Johnny? My band. I was in a band called Dick and Jane. I met Johnny Thunder. I actually met him in '70, I believe '7, at a little club in San Francisco called the Mabuhay Gardens. And it's got history and stuff. I've seen a lot of bands there. I've seen the Jam there. I've seen the Damned. All kinds of people. I met Johnny with the Heartbreakers, the real Heartbreakers.
Right.
And very nice guy. And we didn't have social media or computers. He gave me his phone number. I call him once in a while in New York. It's a hit and miss if you got him.
Yeah.
So as time went on, he came back and he did a tour like I don't know, 82 or something like that. The album Soul Alone came out, and he did that tour. And I met him in Berkeley, and we were talking and this and that. And so we just kept in touch. So I think it was '89. He came back, and he asked my band Dick and Jane to open up at the Berkeley Square. I go, yeah, man. It was called Johnny Thunders and the Oddballs. So we hung out and everything, and we jammed backstage. I never went on stage and played with him, but we jammed backstage. We opened for him, but he hung out with me for a few days. He stayed with me for a few days, and he was very kind. No, he wasn't junked out. No, he was cleaning up.
Yeah.
But I do have pictures of me jamming with him backstage and stuff. And I would go to New Orleans. I haven't gone there in like 5 years, but 5 years before that, every year I would go to New Orleans, and the place where he passed away, I would stay at that place, room 37, which now is called room 7. There's no ghost and there's no craziness like people say.
Yeah.
It's just he died a tragic death.
Right.
But Johnny, I kept throughout the years. He would send me records signed and stuff like that. But I lost touch with him because he had leukemia. He was dying.
Right.
And he wanted to go to New Orleans and start a blues record or whatever. But that was, I think, I'll figure out what year that was. 91. I think he died. I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
I do talk to his nephew, Danny Bracken, and because we do a lot of things together. We're there's a possibility, but we were going to do a Johnny Thunders record, but that got the brakes hold. The brakes got on that, so that project stopped, which is okay.
You were going to put it out on Die Laughing.
Yeah, one time, but the lawyers got involved and stuff like that. So we got to abide by the law. I'm not gonna mess myself up over a record,
No.
But who knows? Nobody said no.
No.
But nobody
right
said
now.
yes. Not right now. But my partner Mark at Golden Robot says that lawyers are working on stuff. So
Fingers crossed.
So I had to pull all the tiles down, all the banners down. I'm so fucking mad, man. Because it's a bucket list,
Yeah.
Sure. So, but Johnny was a very nice guy. I mean, I've heard horror stories and stuff, but he was nice. He stayed with me, very polite. He liked his glass of milk. He watched the movie, smoked a little pot, went to sleep, got picked up the next day. That was it.
Good times.
Yeah.
So I also hear that you throw a mean birthday party. You got one coming up soon? You touched on it earlier, but the first birthday party I did was like 3 years ago. I said I'm going to do a birthday party, and so there was a cool club called the Bottom of the Hill in San Francisco. Great club. All the big bands play there.
So I just started asking some of the bands on the label, the band called The Nerve, I think Bite, and then I got Fang to headline. I was so happy. Then my band, the Screaming Bloody Marys, were going to be under Fang, and I like bringing people on stage, Richard. You know, people I know. So I had Ted from Flipper come up, Heiko from the Addicts come up, Black Dahlia from the Dwarves. There's a video on YouTube, Black singing Dairy Queen, where we're backing them up.
Okay.
And that was packed. It was crazy. And then some guests showed up. A lot of people showed up. Jello Biafra was in the crowd. I mean, a lot of people. I think there was a movie star. I forget his fucking name. But if I think of his name, I'll let you know. But he showed up. All kinds of people showed up. And then the following year, I had like bands like No Alternative and who else headlined that? I forgot who headlined that fucker. I think Flipper might have. I'm not really sure. I forget sometimes, but I have some mean parties. Yeah.
Must have been a good party.
I was like,
but this year,
what was that?
But this year, it's going to be the streaming version.
Yeah, but it's going to be it's being all put together. Okay. People right now are actually going into the studios and they're filming and this and that. And there's going to be people saying happy birthday to me. And Jillian Elizabeth, the A&R at Die Laughing's putting all this together. And God bless her heart, man.
Yeah.
You know, she's a great person. I love her dearly. So we have everybody like Michael the Bars is going to be on it. Raw Power, man. They haven't played in months, almost years. Raw Power is going to do it. There's supposed to be a Dead Kennedys one. Of course, the Marys. Shoot, I can't even remember. It's a list of bands. There's a poster on my Facebook. You'll see it. You know.
Yeah.
And but it's gonna be. It starts at 6. It ends when it ends. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Cool.
That's how they're supposed to go.
Pardon me?
That's how it's supposed to go.
Yeah, exactly.
And when it ends.
You know. But yeah, I'm really looking forward. I'll be 67 years old.
67 years young.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. You know, but again, like going on your punk rock dad's site. Now you started it, right, guys? Or
Richard did.
Richard did.
Yeah.
When did you come up with that concept? That was a good concept, man. You got 10,000 people in that fucker.
Yeah, mate. I started it in February this year. So
Are you kidding me?
It's gone nuts.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
What was it?
I think it's gone crazy. It's totally blown me away. To give you the quick backstory, I've moved interstate, you know, moved away from my family and friends, and I was in a new town, didn't know anybody, tried to start a couple of bands, no luck. So I just started this Facebook group, Punk Rock Dads, in the hope to just find a couple of local guys that I could hang out with, play some guitar and drink a beer, you know. And I thought, you know, if I could get 50 people to see this, I will be happy.
You got 10,000, man.
I think literally after the first 24 hours, there was 300 people that had joined up. And yeah.
Have you met any famous people or anybody that you think that, you know?
Well, there's guys in bands that you know, I've grown up listening to. We had Dennis from 10 Foot Pole on the last episode.
Yeah, I know Dennis. What a good guy. Yeah.
I've loved 10 Foot Pole, you know, since I heard them way back in the early 90s. So
Epitaph, man.
To me, I know Dennis is a rock star for me, and to get to chat with him was just, you know, amazing, a dream come true. So it's been very cool.
See, that's what makes. See, man, that's what makes people. You know, when you meet your hero, your baseball hero, your rock star hero, just for 15 minutes, you feel like you're them.
Yeah. You
want to ask them every fucking question in the book, you know. Yeah. No, I'm glad I like Dennis. He's a good guy from 10 Foot Pole. My band's opened a few shows back in the 90s, you know, with him.
Cool.
Good guy. But who is your favorite band besides 10-Foot Pole? Who is the one that, if you got to meet him, you go, fuck, I can die now?
Yeah. I mean, for me, NoFX. I love NoFX. And I did get to meet Fat Mike probably 15 years ago at a Me First and the Gimme Gimmes gig. And
that's what's his name's band? Spike's band.
Spike's band, yeah. He's in the group, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a singer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and I had 5 minutes with Mike. We had a beer, and he was nice. He, polite, answered my stupid questions, and yeah, that was my interaction with him, and it was great. So,
see, that's what matters. A lot of people for some reason don't like him. I don't know why. I don't get it. I like my friend Tim Armstrong from Rancid. I've known Tim since he was a teenager, and everybody don't like him. A lot of people don't like him because they think he sold out. No, he did it the old-fashioned way. He worked for where he's at.
Yeah.
There's a funny story. When the Marys were touring with the Melvins or Super Suckers or whoever, this is like a 92. We played this place called the Berkeley Square, and that was our first day on the tour. We're going to go for 2 weeks, whatever. And I remember Grumpy, this tall guy, and Tim, we call him Lint back in the day. And a couple other guys came to the show. We got him in. And Lint was homeless. He was homeless because, he came out of Operation Ivy.
Operation Ivy time, yeah.
Yeah, he came out. He was in bad shape. And he was almost like homeless. And I go, I'll tell you what, I'll give you $20 a day. I'll feed you. Help me lump some gear on our van, like be a roadie. I hate saying that, but because I looked up to him. I thought he was great in Operation Ivy. And he hung out with us for 2 weeks. Behaved himself, set stuff up, this, that, brought him back to Berkeley, dumped him off. And, but people just think that, like Billy Joe Armstrong, people don't like him because I don't get it. I know these guys.
Yeah.
They make a living. They bought a fancy home. They got a nice car. Who cares? You worked for it. You earned it, man.
That's right.
You have a job, and you want to get yourself a motorbike or whatever. You've earned it. You're not a sellout. You got to enjoy life, man. I get hate mail at times, too. So
Rancid.
Pardon me?
How about you, Dave? Who's your favorite band?
Oh, man. Of all time, I wish I got to book one of the members. Is the band called The Faces.
Okay.
I don't know if you know who The Faces are.
I don't.
It was a band that came out in the late 60s. They were called the Small Faces.
Small Faces.
Okay, and the singer, Steve Marriott, went to a band called Humble Pie, okay, with Peter Frampton.
Okay.
Now, then those three remaining members went with The Faces with Rod Stewart and Ronnie Wood. That was the killerest band. Fuck. Even punk rockers like them. Johnny Lydon from the Pistols talks about them. Steve Jones talks about them in his book. And Glenn Matlock from the Sex Pistols played with The Faces in the mid 2000s because the bass player died, so he took over. But and I got to book Ian McLagan, the keyboard player from that band, and he was in the Small Faces for 3 years before he passed. But that's my hero band. That's it. Because those guys have a good time on stage. They don't take that shit serious. They're drinkers. They're British. They do their thing. Go look up on one of the YouTube videos. You can see them, man. They're all like having a good time, missing the words up. Yeah. So, and the funniest thing, guys, I'm in a club called the Zamades Guitar Club. It's a Zamades guitar. If you ever see Ron Wood play these fancy guitars, have metal tops and they have like these resonator things, and really, I'm in that club, and it's called.
That's the guitar you play?
Yeah, the Zamades.
I
play
okay.
Zamades.
Yeah,
and,
I was wondering what it was.
Yeah, and
I thought it was a Duesenberg.
Yeah, and I first seen that guitar. I seen that guitar like in 1970. Ronnie Wood was playing at the Berkeley Community Theater. I go, what the fuck is that? I was playing Les Pauls and all that shit. I was, what is that? It just saved my life, and nobody knew what I was talking about. And some years later, when I seen him at the Coliseum, I found out what it was. But you couldn't get those guitars in the United States because the import tax and all that. But I finally got one, and man, and of all places, guys, I found it on Craigslist. Who sells those amazing Craigslist? So I got it. I drove like 2 hours out of town to get it. Now I'm in the club, and I was in their magazine once in a while.
Cool.
But I got my heroes just like you guys do. And you, Matthew, who's your hero in music?
To be honest with you, it's Bad Religion.
I like those guys.
I'm from northern Alberta, where my hometown has maybe a couple thousand people, and I'd never been to a concert before.
Yeah, keep going. I got something.
And we took the road trip to the big city of Edmonton.
Okay.
My friend and his parents, and acted like little jackasses the whole time.
That's okay. Dude, it's okay.
Right? And I remember watching them. I don't remember the songs from the first show, but every time they came to Edmonton after that, I went and seen them, and I've probably seen them 24 times. They're just a great show, and they were the gatekeeper for my experience to punk. I was a country boy and a top 40 pop meathead.
That's okay.
And having punk opened up to me like that, it was mind blowing.
Wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah. It's like I got this one record. It's a collector's item by Bad Religion, and the cover, I forget the name of the type. The cover is like almost like a space looking thing, has a moon, a bunch of stars and shit.
Into the unknown.
That's when Bad Religion got bad. Yeah,
that's their second album, right?
Yeah, it's all synthesizers and all this. Yeah. Almost like it was weird. It's almost like Hawkwind and all this stuff.
I've got that on vinyl as well. And
you have the inserts and all that?
Yeah, the little sleeve. Yeah.
And because I have the inserts, and that thing, if you got the original one, those things go for almost like $500 online. Those are because what happened, if you look at Wikipedia, they had to take them off the shelf. Brett, the distributor said, we got to get rid of these things. It's not happening.
Expunge it from our record.
They had to take it off. And Wikipedia says 99,000 were pulled off. And Brett goes, I've only pressed like 5,000. So it got to be a big, giant story.
Yeah.
But that's worth some money, man.
I think mine might be a reissue maybe. But
even the reissues came from Spain. And those things were only pressed, I think 2,000 were pressed.
Right.
And those go for $100.
Cool. But if you listen to it without thinking Bad Religion, it's not a bad record.
It's not bad at all.
Not bad.
It's just prog rock with a little twist of punk. You know what I mean?
There is.
Twist
yeah.
So, that kind of thing. I like the album Suffer. That's a great album.
It's fantastic.
Fucking amazing album. Suffer. And my band got to open up for those guys a couple of times in Southern California.
Wow.
Nicest guys, and Greg, his singer, guy's a genius. That guy's smart. I think he's a teacher too. Back in New York, he lives back in New York.
Yeah.
And I got kudos. About a month ago, I always read these emails from labels, and then it said Epitaph, and I go, I have to look at it. I got kudos from Brett on the label.
Cool. Nice.
He called it, your little label's blowing up. Nah, man. This is a good. Thanks. I really appreciate the interview, man. It really makes me feel good.
It's a blast. But we would be remiss if we didn't ask you the question we're asking everybody. You can have more than 4 if you want. You can pick an artist or a band.
Yeah.
Or even just a punk rock personality. But who are the pillars or your Mount Punkmore of punk rock?
Oh, okay. I'm glad you brought that up. I always say this. There's the big 4. There's the Sex Pistols, Clash, Damned, and I want to say the Jam. Okay?
Nice.
Those are the big 4. Okay? When real fast, 1976, I believe, or 77. I don't know if you guys know the actor Tully Savalas, bald-headed guy.
Yeah, the Dirty Dozen.
Yeah, exactly. See, I just watched that dude 2 days ago.
Best One of the best old movies with that sucker in it.
Sir, and this is, I'm not racist because I'm half Mexican. Sir, we have to eat with, there's an N-word. But, you know, the whole thing was, that was weird. When Tully Savalas, there was we have Channel 7 News. We have late night news, right? And it's almost like a 2020 special. And I was laying in bed, and he goes, folks, across the pond, England's dreaming. I go, what the fuck is this? All you see is these people doing pogo, cropped hair, you know, jumping around. Going, what is this? And you can see they talked about the Sex Pistols. I've never heard of them. The Damned, the Clash, the only band that matters, and the Jam. So I say all 4 singers should be carved in stone. All 4 singers.
Good call.
That's my take. I like the Sex Pistols, boys. I seen them at Winterland, the last show here in San Francisco. I seen them with the Avengers and the Nuns. My ticket, I think, was $6.
Fantastic.
And I had long hair and shit. Man, when that was done, I said, fuck that. That shit's coming off, man. Yeah. But that's why I say those guys, the 4 singers. You know.
I can't dispute any of that.
But yeah, you know, and if you guys want to, if anybody out there want to get a hold of Die Laughing Records, you know, you just go to the .com, dielaughingrecords.com, or you can go to, if they're in Australia, go to goldenrobotrecords.com.
Yeah.
Drop a line, say hi or whatever. Yeah. And, you know, sometimes I'm a nice guy and somebody drops the line, I might just throw them some swag or something, you know, send them a t-shirt, whatever. You know, cool. I got to get you guys some t-shirts too as well.
Right on.
Thank you. I got yours. I got that punk rock dad, and I put it on your site. I don't know if you've seen it.
Yeah.
It's my picture's up there on the punk rock thing.
Yeah.
I'm standing next to it. Did you have one too? Yeah. Yeah. I wore mine around town. I went shopping to get some groceries, and I got a lot of compliments. Hey man, where'd you get that T-shirt? This guy in Australia, he got the punk rock dad Facebook. I was, I'm gonna go take a look at it. You know, I walk around and you say, "Hey, punk rock dad." Cool. I am a punk rock dad.
Cool.
Hey, you guys dads too, I imagine.
Yep.
Yeah, I got 2 little girls, 5 and 8.
Oh.
Yep.
That's sweet. And you, Matthew, who you got?
I have a 10-year-old son, and my second son's going to be joining us on Earth on Monday.
Yeah. Woohoo! Happy birthday to you. I'm a grandpa too. I'm a grandfather too.
That's awesome.
I got a little grandson, Bobby Joe, and I have a little daughter named Samantha, a granddaughter. I call her Sam. The funniest thing, they don't call me Grandpa. They call me Pappy for some reason. They call me Pappy, and I go, "Why do you call me Pappy, Sam?" She's 13.
Yeah.
The funniest thing, my son's 13, and she's 13, so it's like that's her uncle or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
They're like, and they go, I call you Pappy because you look like that Popeye guy, his brothers, Peep-Eye, Poop-Eye, and Pip-Eye, and
That's a good answer, too.
All right.
Yeah. But that's I really appreciate it, guys.
Thanks, Dave. I think we're running out of time now. But
okay.
One last question: who should we be listening to right now?
Right this minute?
Who should everyone be listening to right now?
Right this fucking now. I say, give it a shake on the Pogues. Listen to some Pogues.
Right.
Good answer.
The Pogues are great. You guys heard of the Pogues?
I have.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, listen to Sodomy and the Rum record or whatever you want to call it.
Okay.
Some good shit, man. I just it's in my room. I just listen to it, so that's why I'm at the Pogues.
All right.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, guys.
thank you so much for coming on, and
Thank you, Dave.
we'll catch everyone
Okay,
next
be
time.
safe, guys. Matthew, keep in touch, please. It was a pleasure.
Will do.
Right on.
Take care.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.